Hi, it's great to have you on Your Career Podcast. I'm Jane Jackson, and thank you for listening. If you're a new listener, why not subscribe to this podcast so you're the first to listen to each new episode that'll provide inspiration in your career? Just go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio if you use an Android device and click subscribe. I've also a free Kickstart Your Career audio course that you can find on my Facebook page at facebook.com/Jane Career Coach. See you there.
Welcome to Jane Jackson Careers, a podcast that takes your career to the next level. Here's your host, Jane Jackson, author of Amazon Careers bestseller, Navigating Career Crossroads.
Well, hello and welcome back to Your Career Podcast. Now, I have disappeared for quite a few weeks, actually ever since May, because I went away on holiday for about 3 weeks to the UK. It was fantastic, best holiday ever. However, when I flew back 24 hours on the plane, I think I picked up some dreaded lurgy, which was a massive bug. And I got a little bit sick, as many of us do when we're on a plane for a long time. And 2 days after I got home, I went to a networking event, which was very, very loud. It was actually my own networking event that I co-host with the wonderful Gillian Bullock, LinkedIn Ninja Down Under, and myself. And it was just really loud, and I was talking away. I had a little bit of a cold. I thought I'd be fine. And the next day, I had no voice. I was talking like this. Yes, I was whispering. That's all that could happen. And so that was the start of 6 weeks of no voice. And today, what I want to talk about is the importance of self-care and how not to be superwoman or superman simply because you think you have to keep working. So I'll tell you the story. So what happened was, after that networking event, it was a Wednesday evening. Thursday morning, I had no voice, and I thought, oh dear, I better go to the doctor right away, because Thursday afternoon, I was flying up to Byron Bay for a full-day workshop I was to conduct on Friday. And this was a workshop that I couldn't cancel because there was no backup plan. So I'm the one. I'm a sole trader. I run my own coaching practice. And when you engage me, Jane Jackson Coach, you get Jane. So Jane has to turn up. So the doctor told me, no, you can't talk. And really going up and conducting this workshop is at your peril. But I went anyway because I didn't want to let anybody down. So Superwoman syndrome, kicking in. Then I flew up to Byron Bay and I went to Ballina, and it was lovely. I had a very quiet evening. I didn't join everyone for dinner. And the next day I woke up and I thought, oh, my voice will be back. But it wasn't. It was still a whisper, just like this. Now, I have a portable microphone, so I thought, that's fine. I'll use my portable microphone. And it actually was quite funny because I conducted the entire workshop. It worked out really well, except for my voice, at a whisper. And by the end of the day, everyone was telling me, oh, Jane, it sounded a bit creepy with all this whispering, but we got so used to it. And then everybody was whispering too. So anyway, we had a bit of a laugh, and I hopped on the plane and came back to Sydney and went to the doctor again. She shook her head and I had to rest and not talk. So I didn't talk for a week, and I thought, oh, I'll be fine. But I still didn't have a voice. And I had all of these workshops and webinars and coaching clients booked in because I'd been away on holiday for 3 weeks. And I had to postpone everybody. And some of the workshops I had to cancel or give them away to somebody else if there was someone else who could do what I was going to deliver. And anyway, to cut a long story short, it ended up 6 weeks of laryngitis. And I can't tell you how frustrating that was. And I want to talk to you because because I have superwoman syndrome and I really like to work hard. I love my job. I don't like taking time off to be sick, as well, most people don't. But the thing is that self-care is really important. I'd had 3 weeks holiday, so I thought it was such a wonderful time. I can't be sick now. I need to get back to work. And so I did. But what I should have done was just say, hey, I'm not ready. It's time for me to take a rest, take a step back and just not talk, completely relax and accept the fact that I wasn't well at that stage. Now, you notice my voice is back, but it's still pretty throaty. And I did see a specialist just in case anyone's worrying. And I've had all of the tests and there's nothing seriously wrong with my voice. There's nothing insidious, but it's just going to take a while for it to go back to normal. And I certainly hope it does, because this is a bit too throaty and I quite liked my old voice. But anyway, the important thing is please practice self-care. Don't ever try to be superhuman, because what it does is, you think you're going to do something and then it sets you back by another week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even 4 weeks. And what your body is doing is telling you you need to rest, you need to take care of yourself, you need to be mindful of your body. Now, one of the blessings, and this is quite good, when one can't talk, one thinks a lot to oneself. Okay, so I did a lot of thinking, and I realized that my business model, even though I have got alternative income streams, I had not focused on it enough to really make a big difference with it. So during my quiet period, I have had a think about my own business model. And of course, I'll always deliver. I love one-on-one coaching. I love my clients. It's fantastic. But I need to have more alternative income streams. I interviewed the amazing Dory Clark, who talks all about alternative income streams in a previous podcast. So you might want to look for that one as well. But what I've done is I've set up a membership site. It's called the Careers Academy. And within the membership site, there's so much value. There are podcasts, there are interviews, there are articles, there are online courses, there's free stuff, there's stuff galore, all to do with careers. And so it's all there for my members, but I haven't really been promoting it very much because I've been busy coaching and conducting workshops and traveling around and doing all of that sort of stuff. So there's a whole mountain of value in the Careers Academy that I have not pushed. And I think it's been sitting there since February. That's when I launched the membership site. And I believe I got laryngitis because my body or the universe was telling me, Jane, what are you doing? Think your business model, what's going to be the most sustainable. And so actually, blessing in disguise having laryngitis, because I ended up without a voice. I had no voice. And so what would I do if I never got my voice back? So you know what's so amazing is that then I reached out to, and I spoke to a number of, I didn't speak to, I emailed a number of business coaches, and I engaged one. And the very next day, and this is so weird, the very next day, my voice started coming back. So was this a lesson that I needed to learn? Was it that I was almost strangling my own voice by trying to be superwoman? It's interesting, isn't it? So I don't know, it's a little bit of a conundrum for myself. So this podcast episode is just a bit of rumination. I'm just talking off the cuff and wondering, what on earth is going on with me. But I've realized that now that I've started the business coaching, because even coaches need coaches. Nobody is perfect. And, we all tend to get a bit of this perfectionism syndrome. And I must be one of the worst people. So I have learned a lesson. I have tried to be superwoman for too long. I have neglected something that would be really good for my business. My body must have reacted, made me just shut down with regard to my voice, so I couldn't do what I love so much, and that is talking for a living. But I have actually started to revise my whole business model to focus a lot on all of the other valuable offerings, which will in fact take my business to another level. So other entrepreneurs who might be listening to this, let this be a lesson to you as well. It's really interesting. And also for those of you who are job seekers, do think about practicing self-care while you're going through that job search process, because if you're not healthy, you're no good to anybody. If I'm not healthy, honestly, I'm no good to anybody. So as soon as my voice comes back and it's sounding hopefully as sultry and as nice as it used to, I never thought I had a nice voice until you don't know what you've got till it's gone. So anyway, I think that's enough of me talking because I still am a little bit throaty, but I want you to think, how do you practice self-care? Please, why don't you, post in the comments or send me an email to jane@janejacksoncoach.com and let me know, how do you practice self-care? What would you have done under my circumstances when I thought, I don't want to let anybody down. I'm still going to fly off and conduct that workshop and do it, but it was to my own detriment. But I still added value to others, and that really is important to me. So I'm glad I did it, but it wasn't very good for my health, was it? Anyway, I'm on the mend. All is good. And the next episodes, you will hear a little bit of throaty me interviewing some amazing professionals. So thank you for listening. And sorry I've had a 2-month break from podcasting, but I'm back and I will be regular again soon. So love you all. Thank you for listening and talk to you again soon.
If you'd like to find out how coaching can help you, visit janejacksoncoach.com, where not only will you be able to listen to other fascinating interviews from professionals who've made amazing career changes, you'll also be able to download some free ebooks and guides on how to manage your career effectively.
You've been listening to Jane Jackson Careers. Sign up to receive regular career advice at janejacksoncoach.com.